watching Where Are They Now with your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Good evening. Welcome to Where Are They Now. I'm your host, Dianne Hart. This evening, I have the pleasure of interviewing a man of many talents, an actor, a composer, a singer, a songwriter, a musician, Mr. David Winans II. Evening, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Happy to be here.
Same here, Dianne.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity to interview you. So let's jump in and get started. So where are you from?
Born and raised in Detroit.
Let's talk a little bit about that. What schools did you attend?
Let's see if my memory prevails. I attended Hamilton Elementary, Pasture Elementary, Hampton Junior High, Mumford High, Los Angeles Community College, and University of Phoenix.
You've been all around. So now let's talk a little bit about your college. Majored in some music or?
Well, I was in music theory. Music theory was my major. And I had moved out to Los Angeles. So this was circa 73, 74. And whilst in college, like I said, I had music theory. So I had vocals and I was a violist. So I was like first chair viola for the orchestra.
Oh, okay. So how old were you when you started in music?
4 or 5, I think. I can't remember back that far.
You come from a musical family, am I correct?
Yes, very musical family.
Who all plays?
Who all plays?
Or
Well, I think everybody in the family plays piano. Because we had one at the house. So, but a couple of us played violin while we were in high school. Myself, I think Ronald played, and maybe Marvin. And that's all I can think of right now.
How about your parents? Did either one of them play?
Oh, well, they both played. My mom played piano, yes, and sing. And my dad sings, and he played saxophone and guitar, little guitar, very little guitar. But that's where I got it from.
So now, if you started playing when you were 4, when do you think was the first time you played professionally or before a crowd of people? Or were you playing before a crowd of 4?
Yeah, we played at church, so there was always a crowd at church. So I'd say probably 7, 8 years old. I don't think I did anything. Have we formed a group when I was 5? No. That would be around the 8, 9, 10 years where we formed the quartet, the Winans, under my father's jurisdiction.
So did you all travel around the city or?
Yeah, we traveled around the city. We did basically church convocations. We'd go to Bishop Bailey's church, who had the Clark sisters. And then we'd go over to, we were all from Mack Avenue, which is Zion Congregational Church of God in Christ, which was founded by my great-grandfather. So, yes, and plus we went out of town. We'd go to like Chicago and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for convocations and church programs, and we'd perform there. So, yeah.
So when was the first time you think you got a paycheck for doing it, or were you all getting paid?
No, we weren't getting paid. We were slave labor back then.
So when did you think you got your first paycheck?
That didn't happen until the teens, and in my teens, I believe. I played guitar for a jazz blues singer, Belita Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I played with her for a few, and that would have been my first professional, quote, paycheck. But it wasn't a check, it was cash.
Back then, they weren't using paper checks.
No, they were using, but they weren't paying musicians with paper checks. Usually had to pay a paper check to the union or something back then.
Okay.
But yeah, Belita Woods would have been my first professional payment.
So let's talk a little bit about who were some of your influencers. I'm sure your parents were, but outside of family, who else played a part in influencing your life?
My life musically? Well, outside of who was the gospel? Well, like I said, at the beginning, we were basically quartets. So I was influenced by, the Mighty Clouds of Joy, the Violinaires, Dixie Hummingbirds, and the five blind boys from Name a State.
Mississippi.
I said name a state. There's five blind boys in about 5 or 6 states. So that I was influenced classically by Mozart and Beethoven, the masters on that stuff, and Stravinsky. And then I was influenced by a lot of rock people. So the Beatles were an influence on me. Yes was an influence. King Crimson, Genesis, The Gentle Giant, and I can go on and on about that in the rock realm.
So you had a lot of people to influence your music.
Yes. And I take a little bit from everyone. Also, a very heavy influence on me was my cousin, Beverly Glenn. She had a concert chorale, and she was a phenomenal organist. It was between her and Twinkie, I think Beverly wins.
Okay. So do you write your own music?
Yes, I do. I've been writing my own music since I was 15, 16.
Tell me, when do you think you're the most creative? Is there a particular time of the day? For me, it's when I'm driving. I tend to, my wheels turn best for me. But when do you think you're the most creative?
Probably when I'm asleep. A lot of stuff happens in your sleep and you try to remember what happens. But basically, it depends on the situation. I could be or the atmosphere. If I'm at a gathering and something peeps out, or if someone says something, different quotes, books, it just depends on, you can never call it.
Right.
I don't think. Yeah. So there's not exactly a specific time or date. It just happens like stream of consciousness, stream of living.
Do you go to bed with a recorder next to the bed? Or your phone?
No, I tried that. It
didn't work?
No. If you either roll over and push the button, or something happens, or you fall asleep. And
So do you write for others?
Not really. Have I written with people in mind? Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I visualize a vocalist that I'd like to do something. I wrote a song, but basically I write my own stuff and I'll send it out to different people. Or if I think someone that's not in my ilk can record it, I'll try and send it in that way. And I rarely collaborate.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, when I had a band in Los Angeles in the early 80s called Xairia. It was a progressive rock band. And my bass player, his name was Clarence Malone. Veach was his nickname. We collaborated on a whole lot of stuff. And I wrote a rock opera called The Adventures of Danny X. Duggins. So that was like a conceptual album, but never got really recorded correctly. Because back then, I don't know if a lot of people know this, when you're paying for your own studio time, it's kind of hard. And especially if you're paying for rehearsals and stuff like that. So unless you come from a bunch of money to spend like that, you try and record your songs best as possible to get them out there. So not having money to go into a studio for like 12 hours and book out time and become creative that way, you had to like write at home, run to the studio, or record it at home, which we did back then, like on cassettes. Or reel-to-reel tape. Before you got to the studio, use the big tape. But now we're in an age where there is no tape, right? Everything's basically digital. So we're in a digital age now, and back then it was analog. So, yeah, that's how that went.
Is there somebody in particular that you have performed with or that you've opened up for?
Well, yeah, my group before Xairia, I had a group called Damon Wisp, and we had left Detroit. Basically, my players or the band members were from here in Grosse Pointe. And we went to Los Angeles. And we ended up with a production company who put on a concert in Tempe, Arizona at Arizona State. And we opened up for Marvin Gaye.
Oh, my favorite.
Yes. So it was Marvin Gaye. And who else was on that? I think a group called Malo, they had Santana's brother was in that group. And a guy named Kenny Rankin, who was a folk artist back in the day. We'll call this all back in the day.
Okay.
And we opened for them at Tempe, Arizona State. So that was a big stage and big concert, outdoor concert. So that was very exciting. Have I opened up for anyone else? Yeah, I've opened up for a few people. My band Xairia, we opened up for a group called Berlin at the Troubadour, the famous Troubadour in Los Angeles. Now, you probably don't know who Berlin is.
No.
Berlin ended up getting a song on the movie. I want to say anyway, the name of the song was Take My Breath Away. You know the song. What movie was that in?
Trying to remember. I didn't know that was a group called Berlin that actually did that song.
Yes, they opened up for me.
Oh.
In Los Angeles, yeah, at the Troubadour. Yeah. Berlin's area. I remember, what's her name? Virginia or Vanessa? She was the lead singer for Berlin. So that's how that went.
So let me ask you this. Have you traveled a lot around the world or?
Well, I traveled before we did our family tour. So I had gone on my own to get out of Detroit because everything here was Motown. And like I said, I worked at Cobo Hall, so I was an usher, and I met a lot of the British rockers that came into town. So they requested I come to London, to England. So got a flight and went to Paris and London, and I thought I was going to live there, but I came back to Detroit. Thus, then when I got back here, there was nothing happening, and I moved my way to Los Angeles, where I spent a good deal of time. Now, when we came up with the family tour, the Winans family tour, which had all of us in it, we did the States first, and then we went overseas. So out of that, my favorite, we played God Bless Us, that we played at Royal Albert Hall in London, which was a major venue. And I think another good show we did was at The Hague in the Netherlands. And then back here, we did the Greek Theater in Los Angeles and a host of others. Well, here, I think we did the Fox. We did all the Fox theaters too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did Detroit Fox, St. Louis Fox, Atlanta Fox.
You've been busy.
Yeah, we were kind of busy.
Which was a good thing, right?
Yeah, it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Good thing. I'm trying to get busy again.
I know, that's right. So let me ask you this. Do you have any new music coming out?
Yes. Hopefully by mid-26. There should be another Pie album coming out.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break and we're going to play a song that you wrote. When we come back, I'll ask you a little bit about the song and where did it come from. Okay.
Okay, you got it.
We're going to take a break and we're going to listen to Thank You for Saving Me. Hi, this is Dianne Hart. Be sure to catch my shows, The Opening Statement, as we interview politicians and special guests on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the Lit TV network on Roku. Also, watch Where Are They Now as I interview entertainers of yesterday and today on Detroit Hot TV at 7:30 p.m. on Facebook. Thank you.
Peace be with you.
watching Where Are They Now with your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Dianne Hart. This evening, I have the awesome pleasure of interviewing Mr. David Winans II. So let's talk a little bit about the song. It's a bad song, awesome song. Where'd that song come from?
Well, Thank You for Saving Me came from, I had that in my head for a while, and it took about a good year to finalize how I wanted to do it. So again, I'm coming from the rock side of things. And it's kind of a hard driving song, but I had to put that gospel harmony in it too. So that's where the background came from. And it's actually a story about how you give your life to God and thank him for getting you through a whole lot of stuff that shouldn't have happened or that you thought shouldn't have happened, and being in his arms at the end of through it, as he sees you through all the perils that come about in life. So that's why I say, thank you for saving me.
Absolutely. An awesome song. An awesome song. But
Thank you.
Are most of your songs things that you've encountered yourself? Or we talked a little bit about that sometimes you hear somebody say something, but do you write a lot of songs based on your own life and things that maybe you have been through too?
Well, yes. That brings me back to the rock opera I was talking about earlier called The Adventures of Danny X. Duggins. That was sort of a parallel to my life's travels and journeys. And each song depicts certain times throughout the span of that journey. So, yes, that does happen. Also happens to write things when you hear about the political climate. Sometimes world concerns come into writing songs. So, yeah.
Do you have one of those songs, though, that came about as a result of what we're facing politically or have faced politically?
Yes, I have a song called Next Move, which was done by Xairia back in the day. And that has to do with the political climate, which is amazing because it totally fits now. It so totally fits now. But I'm sure when I wrote it, there was some political climate going on there. And I believe that during the 80s, that would have had to be during the time of around Reagan's time. So we had the Sandinistas going on that front. And I think the other thing was the economics of the world at the time, because Reaganomics came into play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So yes,
you're right.
Politics, world, and life. That's what music's all about. Music is the healing. I consider musicians doctors, because whatever ails you, we got the remedy. We have a song for it. Everyone has a song for it.
Yes, you all do. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let's talk a little bit about what is it like to have been in this journey a long time, and what nuggets would you drop for these young people who seem to think they know everything already about the industry and singing, playing, and traveling, and how do they take care of their business? Let's just talk a little bit about where you've been and what you can teach some of these young folk.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the age now. Everything, like I stated earlier, is gone digital. Mm-hmm. When I'm from an analog age, and when I say that, I mean, we had tape, and we used to have to go out and find our sound. If you played guitar, you had to go test out a bunch of amplifiers to get the tone you wanted, the sound you wanted. And right now, you can go buy any amp or guitar and sound like you've been playing for years, because you didn't. We had to do research. We had to match this amp with this speaker. We had to find drummers that had drums, real drums. Mm-hmm. And then we practiced. Most people my age, all we did was rehearse to refine our craft. And we went to different genres to listen to different genres of music so we could also hone our original styles.
Right.
Today, my words today is still, you got to do the groundwork, the root work, practice, find your own voice, and be aware of who's around you, because your next door neighbor might be a player and you could collaborate with that person. Mm-hmm. But you have to get off the social media stuff and stay off your phones and dedicate your time to honing your craft.
Right. So when you think of how it used to be with the radio.
Yeah, back then you had real radio airplay, you know. Now you have specific air, you like Sirius.
Spotify.
All
these other folk.
Spotify, all these platforms, I believe, is killing the music business because no one puts out albums. Like you can go, remember you used to go to the record store?
Yep. I do have a lot of vinyl that I have had forever.
Because you were collecting them.
Right.
And you collected them. Why? Why did you collect them?
Because favorite music.
And the music and the artwork. Yep. And the artwork on it.
Yep.
And the credits to find out who was on the record, where it was done, and any liner notes and the lyrics that came along with it.
Are there very many vinyls anywhere? You know, I've been noticing, though, I keep noticing on various sites that they are trying to come back.
Yeah, there's a resurgence. There's a resurgence, but guess what? Most of the population got rid of their record players.
I have one.
You still have one. Well, good for you. Now, where would you go buy a needle at this time?
No, that's a good question. Hadn't quite thought about that.
Yeah.
Where would I get a needle? But
I'm sure you can find it, but it's going to be a hard search.
Well, you know that they're now making a lot of record players. In fact, that's
yes, they are.
Talking about it.
They are. They're making these little. They're making these little like suitcase.
Right.
Which is great. I wish vinyl would come back fully, but I'm not sure because of all these digital platforms. But most of the rappers are coming out with vinyl.
Good.
Yeah, it is. It's good in a sense, but the vinyl probably has 1 or 2 songs on it. It's not like back when we had records, you had 2 sides and you had maybe 30 songs or something like that. Yeah, it's a whole new animal, this digital world. So, but vinyl, and nothing sounds as good, I don't think either.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Vinyl was awesome. Absolutely phenomenal way to hear your music. Now, let's talk a little bit about business aspects of the industry. What does that look like today in comparison to previous times?
Well, previous times, there were actually nothing around that could guide you through that process. You had to learn that on your own, which meant going to the library, doing a lot of extensive reading. Mm-hmm. But I'm working with a company now called Musix out of Detroit, Musix, for the 6 genres of music. And what they do is go into the schools and give you a lecture and tell you how to copyright your music. We also tell you the other side of not being the artist, like the audio sound systems, how to produce, how to take various types of music, like I said before, to hone into your own style. Mm-hmm. But we try and teach the kids the basic business, how to be a manager, because that's a whole different animal, how to get an agent, and also how to sync license your songs into film.
Oh.
So, and there's a bunch of those throughout the country, throughout the world, I'm sure, that are now reaching out to teach kids that part of the business so they don't grow up just being one-sided, or, they have a broader aspect of what they're getting into.
Right. So do you advise having attorneys to review any contracts one might have?
Well, we also teach them about getting entertainment attorneys. Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, because that is vital, especially if you try to, become a star or whatever, or when you get offered contracts, you don't just sign with anybody, and you don't really read the fine print. You need someone to do that until they start making contracts into simple, plain English. Get an attorney.
Just say you need somebody with some eyes to watch what you're about to sign.
Eyes, yeah, it's the knowledge of what you're signing, because you could, any contract, if you read the contract to your phone, you wouldn't understand what the heck was going on. your phone contract, because there's fine print and you miss that fine print, which you'll probably gloss over because it's either really too small to read or you really don't know what it's stating because it's in legal speak.
Right. So it's really important for these young people to understand the need for somebody else to be able to review your contract for you. I've interviewed a couple of people and they say things like, well, you can basically go out on the internet and Google the contract.
Yeah, you can now.
I think personally, you really need some legal eyes.
Well, you can Google
that. Look for you some too.
Right. You can go ahead and Google that contract out and print it, but take it to an attorney and go over it.
Now, that's what I think.
Yes, that's what you should do.
Yeah. I would think that would certainly be the best thing. Well, we're going to take a second break, and this time we're going to listen to another song that you wrote.
Oh, my goodness.
I like the fact that you're writing all of your own music, so we get to play your music.
Yeah, thank you.
Real Sir.
Real Sir.
Looking forward to it. So we're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
For the last few weeks, paying attention mounting, just about to peak. So I guess it's time for me to get away. Take a long vacation, ask my double if he'll stay. Candy bars, cigarettes, junk food for the highway. Picnic basket, semi-full, head out on the byway. And it's mirror side view glance. CHP's hidden, waiting for the chance. Waiting for destination real sir, 60 some odd miles for sure. Headed down the beachhead, just the kind of scene I dread. But I'll adjust like I do when I'm at home. With no deposits, no returns, catch me on the phone. Neighbors screaming, doggies weaning, climbing foreign cars. Kids playing, Mason's laying, moonbeams in a jar. And I'll just pack up all my complaints and rush them out the door. Plan a heavy tab, real sir. Will bring me to the place. Surface haven, heavy laden, damsel on the spur. Porters meet me at the door and slips me the key. Your room is clean and waiting, sir. You're a 1003. The smell of very stale perfume enhances the outer door, while a crowd of out-of-towners drop their names across the floor. And I'm so involved, like real sir's a mystery. mountain, had to take a peek. He was there all for free, the money changers reeked. The show had ended long before the seekers saw their seat. They were screaming, doggies weaning, timing foreign cars. Kids playing, masons laying, moonbeams in a jar. And I plan a heavy tan.
You are watching Where Are They Now with your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Welcome back to Where Are They Now? I'm your host, Dianne Hart. And this evening I have with me in the studio Mr. David Winans II. And what a bad jam. So let's talk about that song. Where'd that song come from?
Rio Sir, I wrote, and the story behind Rio Sir. Well, you know the story of Jesus, the Sermon on the Mount.
Mm-hmm.
So Rio Sir is an updated version of the Sermon on the Mount, and how this one person, which was probably Danny X. Duggins, hearing about Jesus coming to the Mount for the Beatitudes.
Mm-hmm.
And Rio Sir is about finding that out and driving down to the Mount to participate in this glorious event, or to be a part of this glorious event. And the song talks about leaving home, driving down there, and how the trip wasn't that scenic because there was a lot of debris along the way to the beach to get to the Mount, and how the money changers were there to profit off Jesus appearing at the Mount, which is sort of still stuff that happens today, which is amazing because the Bible does say there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
But Rio Sir is about the gathering there and how he saw all, like I said, the money changers and the people that came there earnestly to see Jesus and get healed, and the people that were trying to profiteer off of that, and just the multitude of people that were there, which were very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
You had people from all over the world of that area in that time gathered. Asians, blacks, whites, Arabs, everything. So that's what that song is about.
Listen, you put a lot of thought into that song.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a song today that could certainly be used as an example of how do we unify what's happening right here, right now in this political climate.
That's true. That's true.
So sorely needed to be able to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I enjoy having this conversation with you because it gives our listeners an opportunity to just kind of see you someplace else other than in the music realm, but as just a person that's doing all these phenomenal things out in the world, helping people, because I know that music can certainly help to heal folk.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's definitely the world medicine.
Tell me a little bit about what was it like to transition from singing with Benita to going back to gospel, or have you just always included your gospel singing?
I've always included gospel messages in all my music outside of love songs. But that upbringing has always stuck with me and stuck with all of us, I do believe, because we had no alternative until we got out of the house. But, just to have an open mind and be respectful of other people's input.
Right.
Because you never know until you walk in someone's shoes what's going on. and we all have problems, and we all have to get up through our problems, hopefully with the help of the Lord, if you look towards him for that. And just be aware of your surroundings and be kind and gentle, like the good book says. Love thy neighbor, love everyone. Love is the key.
So let me ask you, what do you think has kept you in this field all of these years?
I just love music. I just totally love music. And I love all the different kinds of music, from Celtic to R&B, from blues, gospel, classical. And I'm very interested in other cultural type of musics and instruments, because there's a bevy of instruments you've never heard of that people play.
Oh, sure.
Yes. So that's always intriguing. Music never loses its luster to me.
Tell me a little bit about the instruments that you played. We've not talked about the instruments that you have played or you currently play.
Well, I started out, let's see, like I said, at the house, we had a piano. So we all played a little piano. So in school, I played flute, violin. Then I went to viola. I still played flute. When I went to college, I played flute and viola. And I played lead guitar. I played guitar with the Winans.
Mm-hmm.
And I played bass with the Winaires. So now with my band now, and I played guitar with Xairia and Damone Wisp and DWP by 3 groups out of Los Angeles. And now I'm playing bass in Pi because I couldn't find a bass player. So I switched to bass. And I usually like to have 2 guitars. So, and I play drums. I play drums in church too. And keyboards and organ.
Is there anything that you haven't played?
Oh, no. And I play tambourine.
Oh, okay.
I have not played accordion.
Oh.
So that's one. I tried sitar, but it was too big for me.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't played cello. So that's about it.
Now, not many that you haven't played. That's for sure. I see a guitar behind you. Is that a bass?
Yeah, that's a bass. That's my 5-string. I have a 5 and a 4, and I have a Stratocaster over there, lead guitar, and an acoustic Yamaha.
So do you do any recording at home?
I do some of my pre-production at home. I have a little keyboard setup here.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And then you're able to, you go into the studio to mix, or can you mix at home?
Yes, I have a little digital recording process here.
Uh-huh.
If I get big,
You do a lot
I like
of
to go
your own.
to a full-on studio. I'm still in that. What's happened here? Something popped up on my screen. It's gone. Okay.
I don't see it.
I know. Good.
Have you sang any Southern Soul at all?
Any what?
Southern Soul.
What does that mean? Southern soul.
Southern Soul. You know, it's a mixture between being R&B, and a little bit of blues. It's something that it's a new sound that's really taking over. You heard
Who plays Southern? Who plays Southern?
King George.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. DJ Trucker. There are a lot of new Southern Soul singers that are coming out on the scene. From Detroit right now, there's a singer. Her name is Lady K. She's
Lady K.
Yep. Lady K.
Would Champagne fall under Southern Soul?
Some of Champagne songs would probably fall under Southern Soul as well.
Really?
She sings a lot of other people's songs, more so than her own.
Yeah.
She plays a lot. She sings a lot of other people.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Are you ever at Bert's?
Yeah. I usually go down there with Martha.
Oh, okay. Martha Reeves?
Yeah.
Okay. I interview the bass guitar. What's his name?
Oh.
He's there. Ralph Armstrong.
Ralph Armstrong. Ralph. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've known Ralph since high school. Ralph used to be in a group called All Rights Reserved. His guitar player was a guy named Michael Nance, and Michael's sister was drum. She was one of the first female drummers that I've ever seen or knew of. And Ralph had got out of, I think Ralph went to King or Eastern or Cass Tech.
Cass, right.
Yeah. He went to Cass. And I remember vividly, this is one of my things on the journey, because as you know, a lot of musicians out there playing are from Detroit.
Right.
That people pick up.
Yes.
So Ralph ended up playing in one of my favorite bands, John McLaughlin's Mahavishnu Orchestra. And I was on my way to see Mahavishnu Orchestra at Coble, and I was hitchhiking that day. Remember when we used to hitchhike?
Yeah, you better not today, but yes, I do.
No, you better not today. So I was hitchhiking to Coble Hall, and I got picked up by two gentlemen, and they asked, where you going? I said, downtown to Coble Hall. He said, oh, yeah, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to see a concert. A friend of mine had just joined this group. I said, who's your friend? I said, Ralph Armstrong. He said, oh, we know Ralph. Matter of fact, we're playing the gig, and they were two trumpet players. So we get down there, and they're on stage with Mahavishnu Orchestra, and that was Ralph's first thing. I think that was, what was the name of that album? Ralph's first, The Emerald Beyond, something like that. So yeah, that's I always remind Ralph of that whenever I see him. I said, dude, I hitchhiked with these two guys, they knew you. And that was a great thing to see somebody, knowing someone like that went that way. But Ray Parker was one.
Right.
Also, let's see, there was Fernando Sanders. Do you know who Fernando is?
I don't know Fernando.
I think Fernando went to Northwestern. I'm not sure. But Fernando got picked up by Jeff Beck, who was a guitarist, if you don't know that. And let's see, there's another one, Dianne Estes, who did some Motown stuff, but Dianne ended up playing with Wham, George Michael's band.
Michaels.
Let's see, who else? There's a lot of other people, a bunch.
There are so many people out of Detroit. Yeah. I interviewed Ray Parker.
Yeah.
How
about Arnell Carmichael?
I interviewed Arnell. Yes, Arnell Carmichael. I have done about 40. Maybe I've done more than 40.
You've probably done more than 40.
One a week for 52 weeks. So that would give me 52 of them, right? 52. So I can't even remember. I have to go back and literally look
at your catalog.
Right. To remember. Besides being on Where Are They Now, I also have a show in Tampa, Florida. It's called The Opening Statement. So I'm going to play your show on both.
Both mediums?
Now, yes.
Okay.
And then in Tampa on the opening statement that I do on Roku.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah. I'm excited. I've been chasing you around for months now?
Yeah, I know.
Finally caught you, right?
Yes, you did. And right before I got on, I had to go to Kroger's. And there was a line, of course, that would happen. I'm looking at my watch going, oh my God, I got to get back for Dianne.
No, and I was saying, that's why I was calling, just to kind of check in, so that if you were running a little behind, it was perfectly fine.
No, I like to be prompt, on time, or early.
Yes. I do too. That would be me. Unlike these young people.
Correct. They
don't care if they're ever on time.
No, not at all. They have no conception of it.
No, they don't.
That's why youth is wasted on the young.
You think?
Boy, just think if we had the youth right now.
We'd be on time.
Yeah,
for sure. There's no question about it. So what else would you like to tell my listening audience?
I'd like to get Pi down there to Florida. Hopefully, after, I'm still looking for an agent and manager that I would like trust things to. I need to go back out on the road at least for another year or a year and a half. And then I think I'm just going to settle into producing after that.
Okay. Nothing's wrong with that.
I'm sick of airport too.
I know. I'm flying constantly. I feel your pain. I
Yeah.
feel your pain. I'm always out there all of the time, and
Yeah.
I'm so tired sometimes from all the flying. But I get to meet all kinds of interesting. I really, really, really do. Are you getting ready to play somewhere in Detroit anytime in the near future? You got any shows planned that we might want to tell people about, or?
Well, okay, I have an upcoming thing where it's myself and my keyboardist, Mark Speck, who has a group called Sweet Crystal. Mark Speck, he spells his name with a Q, Marq. So we call him Q. The only other Q I knew at that time was Quincy Jones.
Yep.
Q and I have a thing called QT Pie, where it's the both of us and two of us on keyboards, and I play bass and vocals. And we have a show coming up in December. I have Pi in March next year on Pi Day, 3/14 at the Caju Cafe, which is in Detroit.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm in the studio.
I'll have to interview you again before then so we can make sure that people know where
Sure.
you're going to be. And
You need to show up at the show.
exactly when you get your December dates, because I will be coming through Detroit in December. Please feel free to send it to me so I can get it up on my.
Okay, I will do that for sure. As a matter of fact, I'll send you another song that you might like.
Okay. You can also send some of your music to T. Pablo so that he can play it on Detroit Hot Radio.
Okay, who's T. Pablo?
They call him T. Pablo. He owns the Detroit Hot Radio station.
Does he wear a straw hat?
That's him.
Yes. I saw him at the Black Music Awards when it was outdoors.
That's right. We're on the water.
On the water. Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there. I was actually
They gave David
one of the
Ruffin's
people
daughter.
presenting.
They gave David Ruffin's daughter an award.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there. Yeah. So yes, he owns Detroit Hot Radio. So yeah,
Okay.
you play your music, put it in a lineup.
Well, I'll send it to you. I don't know if it's of his ilk, but I'll send the music, no problem.
Send it. I mean, all kinds of music is being played on the radio all the time. So now let me ask you this. Where can your fans find you on what social media sites can they go to?
I am on all the platforms. I am on Facebook. I'm on Apple. I'm on Instagram. I don't do Instagram like everybody else does it. It's hooked up to my Facebook.
And I'm trying to get mine hooked up right now.
Twitter. Yeah, and I don't have an official website yet, but it's under construction, as they say. But yeah, all the digital platforms, put in David Winans Pie, YouTube, Twitter or X, and like I said, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and it's just under David Winans.
Winans, yeah. You can do it under David Winans Pie or David Winans II.
Okay. Because we want to make sure that people know where to find you.
Please find me. Please search.
Absolutely. Now, on your Facebook post or on your Instagram, you will have the dates of where you are going to be performing.
Yes, I always put the events when I'm playing live, for sure. And it's out enough time for you to go, hey, I need to save the date, as they say for weddings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, I cannot thank you enough for allowing me this opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. I am so looking forward to seeing your mom again. She was so sweet.
Oh, I will tell her, Diane. I will tell her.
Make sure you do. I'm going to send you the picture so you can show it to her.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can find me every Wednesday night on The Opening Statement. I am on Roku on the Lit TV network at 7:00. Right here out of the city of Tampa, except now I'm in Tallahassee this evening.
Thornetta's down there right now.
Thornetta is here? You know, she told me she was coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to call her. I've interviewed Thornetta. Yes, a couple of times I've done Thornetta. I'm going to call her. She told me she was coming to Florida. And but she promised to call me when she got here so I could show up at the show. But I'm going to give her a call. Thank you for reminding me that Thornetta is here because she told me she was coming.
Yeah, I just talked to Phil Hill last night, and I thought he was here. I was going to go to Woodbridge to see him. He said, "No, we're in Florida." I said, "Oh, Okay, there you go.
I will certainly do that. You'll be able to catch my show from Detroit on Where Are They Now. I'm going to be playing on all of the social medias. I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on Instagram. I will be on YouTube. So all the shows are going to be aired on all of the stations.
Okay, great, cool.
Social medias. So you'll be able to catch me there. That's every Thursday night at 7:30. I'm on live on the various networks. Also, please, if you ever have an opportunity, go out to my YouTube page. It is at Dianne Hart 2126, and just gonna see some of the shows that I've been doing.
Is that your age options? 21, 26?
That's right. Not a day past 26, right? You can also go to my regular Facebook page, which is just Dianne Hart, and see some of the things that I'm doing politically. And
okay, well, after this, we'll be in touch more often.
Yeah, let's do that. Happy to have had you this evening.
My pleasure. It was a pleasure. We'll do much more later on.
All right.
Okay? That's a bet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.